Soon after Madeleine disappeared, the suspect moved here. One police theory is he drove her with him on a journey of more than 24 hours. The woman who moved into this former home of suspect Christian B wants police to search it. She said she's terrified he may have hidden evidence of his crimes here. Manfred Richter said he saw his neighbour dig a big hole inside the house.
Im Haus, ja, mitten im Haus, ne, in der Wohnfläche hat er Fußboden rausgerissen und den Keller ausgeschachtet. Da müsste sein, sonst müsste es einer gefüllt haben. Ich weiß es nicht, denn die Erde liegt ja noch draußen.
It was 3 years ago that Christian B, a convicted paedophile, became the prime suspect for Madeleine McCann's abduction. 40 miles from here, police spent 3 days excavating a site where the suspect lived 9 years earlier.
Investigators may be breaking ground after over a decade of dead ends as they search for Madeleine McCann.
Officers sifted piles of soil dug from a hole 15 metres wide. They also used ground-penetrating radar. And later brought in a drone. 3 skips were removed. Police were said to have uncovered a hidden cellar. Sniffer dogs joined the search in the garden of a secluded holiday chalet where the suspect once lived.
The prime suspect in her case, a 43-year-old German man. He's already in prison, serving time for a separate crime.
There was an excavator, a small excavator here yesterday. They were digging up, and there was a forensics team at least here yesterday. They might be coming back today. And many police officers, there's about 8 police wagons here right now. And investigations are going on. Last night I arrived, I came here to the site and I could hear a machine going on. I went to the police and I said, "Are you excavating now?" And they said no. They said there was no excavation going on during the night, although I saw lights all around the place. The place has been sealed off, of course, for the investigation. And right now it continues, people going in and out. And apparently, according to one of the newspapers here, one of the local newspapers, the suspect in question did have a plot here. He had a hut here that had been taken down a long time ago, but he had also allegedly had built a foundation, and under the foundation was or is a tunnel, and apparently that's what they're especially interested in.
Hatte ich natürlich ein mulmiges Gefühl, weil zu der Zeit, als das hier wohl passierte, war meine Tochter selbst noch klein und ist hier rumgerannt und ich habe gedacht, oh Gott, und das so nah.
Police wouldn't say if they'd found any evidence or whether they're to search anywhere else.
And because they have very few rules, it could be an ideal place for someone, if they have something to hide,
A year before, 2016, he was still living here in this garden house estate, but suddenly gave up the tenancy and vanished.
Case that is ever done quietly or in moderation, it seems sometimes. As you know, this suspect, Christian B, emerged back on June the 3rd when the German police came forward with an actual plea to the public to help them identify possible new leads in connection with the man they characterized as the prime suspect. And they were hoping to get some leads on a cell phone call that was made to Christian B's cell phone on the night that Madeleine disappeared there in Praia da Luz. And as far as I know, they have been inundated with leads, some 16 specifically relating to the phone, and a couple of thousand, as far as I know, related to other matters in relation to Christian B. So we don't actually know why the search is taking place today, or what they're exactly looking for. As your reporters said, are they looking for something specifically to do with Madeleine's disappearance, or are they looking for some other kind of incriminating evidence about the main suspect, Christian B, to do with any of the other cases in which he's now been implicated? The police sources I've spoken with, some closely linked to the BKA, have said to me that, this prosecutor is not the kind of man with a reputation for speaking wildly or out of turn. His use of his phrase concrete evidence and his conviction, his seeming conviction that this suspect is involved and that Madeleine is dead, they say he's not the kind of man who would be saying that loosely. That said, they clearly don't have what they need to go forward with a prosecution on this case, and that is what they so desperately need, both to bring some kind of closure to the McCann family, if this is indeed the case, And because if they are going to prosecute anyone in connection with Madeleine's disappearance, the time is rather running short because of the statute of limitations on this kind of crime in Portugal, where the crime took place. It would seem to me it would be a crime prosecutable in Portugal because that's where it seems to have taken place. And one of the problems in this case at the moment is the Germans' concern that Christian B might be allowed out of prison because he is only in prison at the moment on a drugs charge, although he has been convicted in connection with the rape of a 72-year-old American woman in a violent rape. He is appealing that conviction on the basis of the fact that his lawyers claim he was extradited and only on the drugs charge, and therefore he cannot be imprisoned in Germany on the basis of the fresh conviction on the rape case. So all of that legal tangle has to be sorted out before the prosecution can go forward. Long ago, when this case started, the reason Madeleine's name became well known to all of us is because the men and women who run the best organizations in the world for finding missing children have always believed that getting a child's name and face out there is the best hope of turning up fresh information. That remains the case today. Little bits of information can come in. It has always been said that there is someone who knows what happened to Madeleine. And relationships change over time, loyalties change over time, and even people's memories of what they saw can be sort of assisted by seeing something over and over again. So in as much as this is terribly difficult for Madeleine's family to go through this time and time again, the little bits of information may still help find out.